The Borla S-Type here is a personal favorite of mine for the 5-liter trucks and would be an excellent choice for the 11 to 14 owners who prefer a decent amount of bark but don't necessarily need or want the loudest system out there. Now, in typical Borla fashion, guys, the S-Type is going to deliver a stellar build quality along with that 304 grade stainless steel, split rear configuration, and those black tips here, and will run you right around $1,100. While the bolt-on install will get a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. I'd call it a soft 2 out of 3, but if you hang with me for a little bit, guys, we'll show you how it's done a little later on in the video. So for those who don't know, the S-Type is gonna live somewhere between the Borla Touring on the tame side and that Borla Attack on the loud side, and will be a personal favorite of mine for that very reason. I think it delivers just the right amount of volume while maintaining that nice deep thumping tone overall. On the topic of volume, what do you say we whip out our highly scientific wake the neighbor scale here, guys? And honestly, yes, the S-Type is producing a healthy amount of volume, but it's really not that crazy overall. So therefore, I'm gonna go 3 out of 5, again, 1 to 5, 1 to wake the neighbor scale in regards to overall volume. Inside the truck, on the other hand, whisper quiet as we've come to expect from Borla. They're really good at reducing any annoying drone while cruising, and the same can be said here for the Borla S-Type that we're talking about today. Now, shaping the sound of this unique system will be the S-Type muffler here, of course, from Borla, working in conjunction with the included mid-pipe resonator, which will allow for that volume level we just talked about, but at the same time keep any of the rasp that the Coyote is sometimes notorious for to an absolute minimum. Now, in addition to that, guys, you are also getting stellar build quality here with Borla stuff. If you've owned a system of theirs in the past, you know this already, but if not, here's what you can expect. That premium 304 grade stainless steel throughout, kind of the benchmark material in the category. Very good at reducing any corrosion in high salt states. As far as your build is concerned, well, 3-inch primary tube, which will lead into that mid-pipe resonator, which we've already covered. It does eventually split down or kick down into 2¼ inch tubing here, entering the S-Type muffler before exiting out your twin 4-inch tips here in black in that dual rear exit configuration. Very cool for the truck world, of course, and very much fitting on a big rig like the F150. But now that you know a little bit more about the Borla S-Type, what do you say we show you how to get it installed on your 5-liter truck at home? So without further ado, here's that detailed walkthrough we promised you, in addition to a quick tool breakdown.
Tools used for this install are a cordless impact gun, a ratchet, 18mm socket, 17mm socket, 15mm socket, 13mm socket, 10mm socket, and a 21mm wrench. So the first step of this install is going to be to remove your factory exhaust system to make room for your new one. In order to get started on this, you're going to want to have your vehicle safely supported on either a lift or jack stands. So let's get started. So I'm going to start by removing these 2 bolts here on the inlet flange. It's a good idea to hit them with a little bit of rust penetrant before you remove them. So I'm just going to spray down the bolt threads, and then I'm going to use a 13mm socket on my ratchet and remove the bolts. So So my next step is going to be remove these 2 bolts for the hanger in front of the muffler. Now you can just remove the hanger from the rubber isolator if you want, but I find it easier to remove the hanger completely and swap it over to your new exhaust system off of the vehicle. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray the other 2 hangers with some penetrant, and I'm going to use my pry bar to push the exhaust system back out of the hangers, and with the help of a friend, I'm going to lift the exhaust up over the axle and remove it from the truck. So before I install my new exhaust system onto the vehicle, I'm actually going to assemble my resonator, my medium pipe, and my muffler all together loosely with the clamps on the floor. And I'm not going to forget to install the previously unbolted hanger onto the new hanger for the exhaust system. So basically I'm just going to put these pieces together loosely and slide them into the truck and bolt things down. Now I'm ready to put these into the hangers onto the truck. All right, so with my intermediate pipe and muffler assembly put together, I can sit my over axle pipes on the axle, and then I'm gonna lift everything up into place, insert the hanger rod into the rubber isolator, and then I'm gonna make my connection up at the front at the inlet pipe. Now I'm just going to use the provided hardware and loosely put the bolts in. Now I can reinstall the hanger bolts that I've took out in the removal process. At this point, I can go through and just snug my clamps up, not fully tighten them. I'll wait until I have all of the pipes installed and I get everything the way I want it, but this is just going to be to hold things in place while I work. Now I need to install the rear hanger brackets here at the leaf spring shackle mounts. I'm going to use an 18mm socket and a 21mm wrench, and I'm going to remove just the nut for this bolt, and then I'm going to install my hanger onto the bolt end and reinstall my nut. I'm going to snug this back up, but I'm actually going to wait until the weight of the vehicle is back down on the leaf spring so that the shackle is sitting in the proper place. And now I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side of the vehicle. So now I'm ready to install the provided rubber hangers onto the hanger rods that I just installed here at the leaf spring shackles. A little bit of lubricant will go a long way to get these things to slide right on. So now I'm ready to install my tip. I have my clamp pre-installed onto the end of the pipe, and I'm going to connect it to my over axle pipe. I'm going to insert the hanger rod into the rubber isolator that I just installed, make my connections, and then I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. So because my driver's side tip is actually 2 pieces, I'm actually going to pre-assemble it on the ground, loosely installing the clamps, and then I'm going to slide it up into place. So now that I have all my pipes loosely fitted into place, I'm going to take a 17mm socket on my ratchet and I'm going to tighten down the provided hardware here at the 2-bolt flange and the inlet of the muffler. Then I'm going to work my way back, tightening up my clamps as I get everything positioned the way I want it. Next, I'm going to take a 15mm socket on my impact gun and start tightening up my clamps, working my way to the back. Finally, with the weight of the vehicle down sitting on the suspension, you can go back and tighten up your leaf spring shackle bolts with your 18mm socket and 21mm wrench. And that's going to wrap up this review and install of the Borla Stinger S-Type dual rear exit exhaust system with black chrome tips fitting your 2011 to 2014 F-150 with a 5-liter engine. Thanks for watching, and for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.